Welcome to Abroadability. In this series, I'm going to discuss what it's like for me to travel to different parts of the world with a disability. I have cerebral palsy. And we are starting with the country of Panama. This video will take you on a journey with me through Panama, starting in the airport, navigating tourist activities like visiting the Embera, Bocas del Toro, Toboga Island, Colón, El Chorillo, and Casco Viejo. We will discuss some things to keep in mind before you visit and that you should consider while exploring this country. Vamanos a Panama. Let's go. Oh wait, before we journey to Panama, I would be remiss if I did not discuss cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy can be defined as a group of disorders that affect a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. Okay, now that we have a better understanding of my condition for a bit of perspective, we can now sit back, relax, and welcome to Traveling While Disabled, the Panama edition. Landing in Panama's international airport is always exciting because I'm back in Panama. Woohoo! But I instantly dread the long walk I'm about to take to get from the plane through immigration. For whatever reason, every time I visit, the walkways in this airport have never worked. Like never. They just sit there taunting me with every step that I take. Hopefully, you've had better luck with them working, or by the time that this video is released, they're back in operation. A lot of people are always shocked when I say that I've traveled to over 24 countries in my lifetime. I usually don't let having cerebral palsy stop me from doing things. It's just sometimes I have to be more creative in order to do them. And this creativity has been repeatedly tested in Panama. Please, please, please research how you're going to get on and off all tours where a boat is part of the excursion. Please ask if there's a ramp, a deck, stairs, and a way for you to get off the boat at the destination. I seem to forget to ask this each and every time because I often get caught up in the moment and excitement of the adventure, but I'm quickly reminded of this error as soon as we pull up to the location. Here are some examples of my explorations where I did not do my due diligence regarding boat rides. While visiting Colón, we took a quick boat ride to see a black Jesus statue that was in the middle of the water. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision, and clearly I was wearing the wrong shoes, but this is an example of how I've had to navigate some of the boats here. Butt first, leg swing, and sidestep to my seat. Visiting the Embera can be a phenomenal and eye-opening experience, but you have to get to where some of them live, and we got there by a canoe ride. We took a van ride from Panama City and then had to walk down a bit of a short hill to the canoe. Can you guess how I got into this canoe? You guessed it, but first. After an awesome ride through the jungle, we arrived at the village and I was able to get out of the canoe with help by some of the Embera once we docked. Now this type of boat trip was a first for me. Toboga is an island outside of Panama City and we took a private boat to get there. In order to get into the boat, which was docked on land in a parking lot, we had to climb a regular ladder placed in front of the boat to get in. Yup, you heard me correctly, a freestanding ladder. So, again, as always, ask about where the boat is docked and how people are supposed to get in and out of it. Once we got to Toboga, it took me a while to figure out a way to get off the boat, which included me stepping on a cooler, sitting on the edge of the boat and the dock, swinging myself around, and then my friends helping me to get off the ground. I took a great excursion to Zapatia Islands in Bocas del Toro to relax and release in paradise. To get there, I just had to navigate a dock, climb into the boat, with no ramp, no stairs, and climb down stepping onto the seats like everyone else did. That wasn't too bad. I held onto the roof of the boat for support, and the boat captains helped me as well. The main issue for me was when we pulled up to Zapatia Island and I didn't see a dock. How the heck was I supposed to get on and off this boat? But first it is again. I had to sit on the edge of the boat, swing my legs over, and slide down into the water as my friend and the boat captain held the boat steady. I'm just glad that the waves were calm that day. There were a ton of walking tours in Panama, and if you can do them, you're in for quite a treat. I love roaming the historical and vibrant streets of Casco Viejo. The colors and architecture always captured my eyes, but so do this neighborhood's sidewalks and streets. Some of the sidewalks are not a standard height off of the ground, which can require you to take a higher step to cross the street. I often just end up walking in the street amongst the cars until I can find a part of the sidewalk that is low enough for me to step onto. Please look out for a future video on my walking tour of the El Chorillo and Santa Ana neighborhoods, which I want to participate in again to better capture these parts of Panama City. Okay, this tour involves quite a bit of walking. It starts out in Casco Viejo, and then you walk the streets into the neighboring El Chorillo. I told my phenomenal tour guide, Victor, that I had cerebral palsy and that I would stay in the back of the group bringing up the rear, but it was also so that I could capture these neighborhoods on my camera. The streets, well, as to be expected, were worse than the touristy neighborhood in Casco Viejo. You'll have to watch every step, but it was most definitely worth the extra effort. Perspective, history, and relevance is everything. I took a food market tour with Anna from Food Tripping PA that was about a 3-hour walking tour through the streets that most tourists do not navigate. Like other walking tours, you should figure out ahead of time if you can keep up with the pace of the tour, navigating through busy streets that have foot traffic and vehicle traffic, and if you can navigate high sidewalks that might have some deteriorating sections. Side note, I will most definitely visit this market again upon my return to Panama City. They had me at the juice. Yum! When taking in-country flights, like I did to get to Bocas del Toro from Panama City, you might not have a ramp from the terminal to the plane. You'll have to walk to and from the plane, or they can push you if you're in a wheelchair. I did not see how people in wheelchairs got into the plane, so if you have done this yourself or have witnessed this, please leave a comment below. I did see someone walk down the stairs from the plane and then sit in a wheelchair. When picking a place to stay, Panama has a plethora of phenomenal places to reside in, but you should pay attention to the following. You might want to look at photos of the bathrooms to see the height of the bathtubs. Some are extremely high, which required me taking extra care when getting in and out of them. Are the doorways wide enough for you if you're in a wheelchair or if you're using a walker? If you are staying in an Airbnb or a boutique hotel, ask if there's an elevator, and if there is one, also ask if the elevator is working. You might also want to pay attention to the entrance of the Airbnb or hostels. Do they have stairs that you have to climb to get into the building? Do those stairs have a railing? Is the location on a steep hill? In all, do not expect uniformity in standards in Panama when it comes to the height of sidewalks, distance between stairs, even pavement, or the slopes for the ramps. I've had to be creative with how I navigate the world. I'm okay with adjusting as I go, knowing what I can and cannot do while potentially looking for alternatives. And in doing so, exploring various parts of Panama was well worth the extra creative effort. Stay tuned for the next video in the series of Traveling Disabled, where we explore the gorgeous country of the Bahamas. For now, let's see more of my travels in Panama.